everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a happy, respectful Memorial Day. Unfortunately, it's all raining over here, so no picnic for us. Today I wanted to share with you a story. Some drama broke out over the weekend involving an animator, a very popular animator, being removed from YouTube. Now, first of all, it's important to note that animators have never really been treated well on YouTube. Animation channels have way more trouble making money from their videos because, as a lot of us know, animation takes a very long time to do, especially if you're expected to make a 10-minute animation to be the whole video, which YouTube wants us to upload at least 10-minute videos. But the algorithm just really doesn't like animation channels that much because they don't upload as often as channels like these, where I'm uploading like 5 days a week or so. Or if they do upload frequently, it's very small videos, which YouTube doesn't like. And of course, there was the whole kid-friendly thing on YouTube, which caused a lot of animators to be borderline demonetized, which was a very bad thing. So animators not very well treated on YouTube in general. So the animator who was removed was Teleporte. Now, I have been following this animator for a while now. You see that they have a big Twitter following, and they did have a YouTube channel, which I was also subbed to. But unfortunately, if you go to their YouTube channel now, you'll find that it was completely removed, and he spoke up about this. And apparently the reason why they removed his channel was because it violated sexual content and nudity community guidelines. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with his animations, he does a bunch of short animations that tell very mild sex jokes, but he never shows any nudity or any actual sex. So it doesn't seem like he was actually breaking any guidelines. But I'll read out his full statements on this whole thing. I find YouTube's handling of my content to be disgusting and irresponsible. Their way of handling, I assume he means, nudity and sexual content in general is appalling. How is it that this video is considered a violation of nudity and sexual community guidelines? Artists and animators are not allowed to show a slight bit of cleavage, while content that literally breaks nudity community guidelines, such as naked yoga videos and hypersexualized music videos like WAP, are allowed to stand on their awful video streaming platform. But naked yoga is educational. Don't give me that stupid bullshit. An actual educational channel that was designed for free and accessible life drawing classes still got their videos taken down for nudity. YouTube ruined an educational channel for this. Innumerable amount of music videos with suggestive sexual content and straight borderline nudity, but since they have music, it's suddenly not a community violation, right? No age restriction, no strikes on their channel. What do animators get? We get nothing. YouTube is by far the worst video streaming service when it comes to double standards and upholding their own community guidelines. It is arguably the worst platform for independent animators just looking to share their work and get ahead in this hell-ridden life. For the record, I have seen a lot of his videos, and while they are very silly and obviously like telling sex jokes here and there, they're never overboard. Like what? She grabbed her ass, so that's... She looked at her butt the same way like Miss Incredible looked at her butt. He touched the butt. At worst, they should have age restricted these videos, but they decided they needed to strike me, stop me from posting for a week, reject all my appeals, and do it again without a second thought. I have 2 strikes on my channel even though I'm not posting 40% of my videos. Not because they have sexual content or nudity, but because they have women. I am so afraid of YouTube and how it views the female form that my criteria for should I upload this video is, does it have a woman in it? Not are they naked or are they having sex? Later on, he made another post. Well, everyone, YouTube has decided to delete my YouTube account and all of its videos instead of fixing any problems. I am not able to appeal, and I am currently not able to talk to any YouTube staff about this. I will continue creating here on Twitter, where I started. And now, for the record, Teleporte on Twitter, like I said, has a very big following, so this was getting a lot of attention, and Team YouTube on Twitter did respond that they were going to take a look at his strikes and maybe appeal his channel. The bullshitty part in the first place was that it shouldn't have been taken down, and if he was any other animator, it probably would stay taken down. Small animators don't have that following. They're not gonna get any attention from YouTube. Whenever YouTube makes mistakes, it really only gets fixed if you're really big. Now, I do agree with his whole rant here about the double standards on YouTube. It is very apparent. I mean, his videos are kind of like anime clips. Now, on the flip side, we have trailers from the official Funimation YouTube account showing panty shots and other sexual things that do happen in anime. This is not age restricted, and this is 100% fine because it's coming from an official company. And you know, companies get special treatment on YouTube. It's the same thing with official news channels on YouTube. They get special treatment. They're allowed to show video clips of people getting shot and dying. But whenever an independent YouTuber like Donut Operator shows those same exact clips, he gets age restricted. It's definitely not fair. But even more so, we do have a bit of a change happening in YouTube where it's becoming a little bit more like Twitch, in the sense that there are a lot of women coming over to YouTube trying to use their bodies to get some monies, kind of like online prostitution. So what he was saying before about naked yoga, you see, like, now I'm pondering, should I actually search this? Because all the thumbnails for naked yoga, they all have naked women in them, and if I show it, I'm gonna get in trouble. But when they do it, it'll be okay. Alright, let's skip naked yoga. There was this other video that I'm sure you've seen because it was recommended to everyone. Dick or dildo. Now, for whatever reason, this video was recommended to every single YouTube channel on their homepage. Now, when this was recommended to me, at first I thought maybe I had done something weird that was making YouTube recommend this weird, almost pornographic video in which they're literally sticking it inside him. Which I'm pretty sure is against YouTube's community guidelines to do that. You can't have insertion in a YouTube video. This isn't Pornhub. They cover it up, so I guess that makes it fine. It's age restricted now, but it wasn't when it was first going around. When it was being recommended to everyone, it was not age restricted. But like I was saying, at first I thought it was just me. Like maybe I was watching weird videos that was causing it to pick up this video to recommend to me. But then I went over Adam's house, and he absolutely does not watch any sexual videos on YouTube. He mostly just watches like metal and history documentaries. And it popped up on his homepage too. That's when I was like, oh my god. Everyone is getting this video. Why is it okay for YouTube to recommend this video to everyone, but it's not okay for an animator to make very tame sex jokes, showing no sex, no insertion whatsoever? And I think that the way that YouTube actually takes down videos and strikes, I think they have an internal problem with the people who are manually reviewing these videos. I think the people that they're hiring to look over these videos and manually review or report videos, they are not actually looking for stuff that really breaks the guidelines. What they're looking for is stuff that they feel is offensive. So maybe this video of her boobs exploding isn't breaking any guidelines. You know, it's not showing any nudity or anything like that, but it could be seen as offensive to maybe a feminist who doesn't want female boobs to exist. It could be seen as offensive to people who think all attractive women should be drawn like trolls. And that's how I think YouTube operates right now. And I think that's a problem, because you should operate based on what your community guidelines say is acceptable on your platform, not what your manual reviewers say is offensive. If they actually stuck to their community guidelines and applied it evenly to all people on the platform, then I think people would be in understanding, right? People would be okay with it, so long as they knew what they were allowed to do and not to do. But whenever the rules are applied differently to different people, it's confusing. And that's YouTube. That's how they roll. You can literally find videos of girls getting themselves off, but when it comes to an animator doing like a brief sexual joke, boom, taken down. A popular animator at that. This isn't some nobody here. It's definitely a mistake on YouTube's part, and they will probably try to make it up to him, because I think it's pretty obvious that he didn't break any guidelines. I don't know, it's bullshit that it happened in the first place. The fact that they had real people look over his videos and say, no, you're not allowed on YouTube anymore. They're not doing their real jobs, which is to make sure if it violates the community guidelines or not. And Teleporte is absolutely correct that the rules are not applied evenly. That is my opinion, and that is why they're getting sued. You're not the only person this has happened to. I love animation. I would love to see more animation on YouTube, but YouTube just keeps on making it harder and harder for people. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen here. Even if YouTube does try to make it right, who's to say that they'll go back to YouTube? Why not find another platform? Or why not just stay on Twitter? Seems to be doing pretty well there. Got a Patreon and a TikTok, hey. What other video platforms are there? I know some people talk about Odyssey and Rumble. I don't know if things will actually change for the better on YouTube, if they'll get worse, if at some point they'll change their community guidelines again to try to widen the range of what they can take off of YouTube again. They do that like almost every other year, it seems, right? They change their community guidelines. Everyone gets that email. It's like, oh, we changed our community guidelines. Here's the stuff that you can't do anymore. And then people try their best not to do those things, and they get taken off anyway. Get your shit together, YouTube. I'll leave a link to Teleporte's Twitter down in the description below if you want to follow, check out his animations, support him, or see his full statements. So definitely leave me your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you think about animators being removed for having women that are too sexy, for having sex jokes in their animation? Do you think that YouTube is a good place for animators to be? Or does YouTube just treat animators too poorly? Should they go to other platforms? Do you agree that YouTube is not fair with how they enforce their community guidelines on their users and YouTubers? Or do you think that YouTube was right in taking this animator down while simultaneously leaving naked yoga videos up? Any and all thoughts you have, leave them down below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. I love animation. I love talking about comics as well and reviewing those types of things. So that's the type of content you can usually expect. Other than that, have a great day, guys. See you next time. Bye!
Program restart.